I'm going to talk a little bit today about how to take out one of these vents. This is in a 958 series Cayenne. It's my understanding, however, the Panamera also has kind of the same vents, and as much of the interior of that car is kind of spec'd similarly to this one. In my case, I have a vent here where one of the little flaps, the previous owner had broke it. It looks like he must have dropped something, hit this, because there's actually some scratches down here on the panel. He also went and scratched this trim piece here. So we're going to change this trim piece out as well. This trim piece, from what I can tell, actually goes behind this vent. So my goal of removing vents is actually going to be at least twofold. I'm going to take this one out to fix this piece here, and I believe I need to take this one out to get this trim piece out, because I did try to remove this previously and I was unsuccessful. I actually have another vent already on hand. I tried to remove this in advance of the ordering of the new vent, mostly so that I could see just make sure the parts were the same. However, when I tried to remove this one the first time around, I was unable to get it out. I was able to find that there's some clips inside that are removable, or they're spring loaded. However, I was unable to get this out, so I just looked the part number up in one of the Porsche parts catalogs, ordered a new one, and I was then able to figure out where I went wrong. I'm going to cut over to a little close-up of the vents, kind of show you where the clips are, and we'll come back here and we will remove them.
This isn't really a very difficult project by any means. However, when I was trying to release the broken vent, I spent a little time on it. Couldn't seem to get the clips out. I could kind of tell there was some kind of clips inside these holes here. Had a little bit of feel for how they worked.
But releasing the clips, and I couldn't get the vent out. So I decided what I would do is I would just order a new one, because I knew I needed it, and I would really take a look a little bit more about how the clips work and try to figure out why I couldn't get mine out. So once I got this, it was painfully obvious what I was missing. There's actually two clips on each side, one here and one here. This is the left side, and there's two clips on the right side. However, there is also a clip on the top here. When you're looking at it and through the vent, you really can't see it, but it's in this space. It's kind of in the concave curve space. The way these clips work, real simple, is you take a pick or a similar tool, and you push it into the clip, and the clip is actually a little piece of metal with a little square cut out of it. And what you'll do is you'll kind of tap it to the outside, which will in turn pull the clip to the middle. And then you can push your pick or whatever you're using right through, and that will in turn take this clip and push it into the device. You could probably work with just one pick and kind of just work your way around. These are, like I said, they're a standard kind of automotive clips. These are small ones. These are by Tecton. I'll put a link in the description. They're available on Amazon. They come with a straight one like this, and I think they come with a few others that have some angles. Definitely a good automotive tool to have. But what I'm actually going to try to do is pull all of them, kind of work my way and get all four of them pulled at once, so that way I don't have to kind of work my way around. I was actually going to try to use fancy toothpick umbrellas. The reason I picked these, just they're bigger than regular toothpicks, and these are the toothpicks that I have, and they do work. You can take them and you can kind of push them into the space the same way you would with the pick. And pry that piece to the middle and push it down, and that'll hold it open. So what I'm going to try to do when we go back to the car is I'm going to take four of these and at least do the four corners, and I'll use the pick on the fifth one because that's a little harder to reach, and that will hopefully allow me to pull this out. There is an electrical connection on the bottom here. Certainly I'll be careful when I pull that out to not yank the connection, but it's not anywhere near where you're using the picks. So just for the process of removal, I don't see this as being an issue. The other thing we're going to use for this project too is a set of automotive either molding or trim removal kits. This one is by ABN. They're basically just plastic pry bars. The key when you're working on this Porsche or really any car is, at least especially ones where the dash is leather, I know the dash for mine, when I looked at the price, it's about $2,000 to replace that. So you do not want to be scratching the dash when you remove it. A set of these clips are like $10, and they'll allow you to spread the pry force out a little bit better. Certainly better than using like a metal screwdriver or anything like that, which would be much more prone to scratching the leather. So you'll see us use this. I'll put a link in the description for this, but I've seen these on eBay, Amazon. Many people make them. I guess there's a few special ones for special cars and special fittings, but mostly they are just a set of pry bars with a split to go around some of the trim clips. We'll probably just use one of the flat sides for what we're trying to do here, but these are really made also more for removing doors, door trim, and the like. All right, so we're back in the car. I have the new vent here. I'm going to start with this one, which is the broken one, and then I'll work my way across and take the other two out that kind of block this piece of trim. So what I'm going to end up doing here is I'm going to try with these toothpicks here, and I'm going to just try to push these vent pieces out. But it looks like I'm going to need to get a little bit better lighting in here, so let me do that. All right, with some better lighting, I can actually see that it looks like the majority of the clips are actually sprung out from the last time that I tried to do this. So it's really probably just comes down to finding this guy up here in the corner, getting him all set, and then we might be able to pry this thing out. I'm gonna go back to the toothpick, get that one pulled on the left side, get my guy on the right, find a place for my light, and we should be able to figure this out here.
I ended up speeding this up a little bit. I ended up having some troubles. Mostly my light. I couldn't get the light to kind of see where I was going. I tried the toothpick and that wasn't really good. And then when I couldn't get out, I was actually even looking back at the vent again to see if I was missing something else. Even tried the pry bar. But when I get to the second one, there's definitely some luck involved, because it just popped when it decided it wanted to pop out.
Alright, I skipped some of the boring details there, but yeah, the toothpick method really didn't cut it. I really just kind of had to push my way around. There we go, boom. Push my way around with the metal and kind of make sure that piece comes out. It really does take a decent amount of force. I didn't really end up using the pry bars either. It really just came down to popping those metals, keep my hand underneath, and kind of working my way around. Here's this clip on the bottom. We'll get that disconnected, and then we'll work our way around on the side here. This clip's just got two little guys, which also this little automotive this little pick comes in handy. Pop that out. We're good to go. All right, very happy about that. Finally got it going. I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna do the same for this one, because it's definitely true. You can see here that this piece kind of comes underneath. So we'll work my way over here, and then I'll put both of them back. Now this one obviously is going back, so I am going to be very careful about not breaking it and all that good stuff. That one I got really lucky. So maybe there's a lot of luck involved here. All right, cool. Now we should be able to pull this. Yeah, this comes right out. It looks like if I do it right, I might not even have to take out the guy on the right. But you know what? There's some clips over there. They're pretty close to the vent. So I'm going to swing around the other side, pull that vent open, so I don't end up breaking it, because again, that is not a garbage piece. So let's get our way over here. Okay. We'll just work on the bottom, because really if I can get these bottom sides pried out a little bit, I think that will really just get me enough to get the trim piece out. There we go, trim's out. So we'll grab the new one and get that installed. If you ever are ordering one of these trim pieces, be aware that there are a lot of different colors. I think mine is being the base model Cayenne, that it's just the basic black one, but there are carbon fiber ones. They make some wood trim ones. So if you have a wood trimmed car, then certainly be careful that if you need to replace this, that you get the right one, because there's at least 4 or 5 different part number modifiers. But again, I think this one is going to be the right one for me. And Eureka, it is a match. Match minus the scratch, so we're in good shape. It looks like this is pretty basic. We'll just have to try to get around this piece here, and then it pretty much just slaps right in. Oh, actually, I do see that these clear clips, they're actually on kind of ass backwards here. I got one on here, but then this one, I have one in the car, and I have one on the piece. So we'll make some adjustments so that they all line up properly. Everybody's got one but not two, and this should be pretty much just push it in place. All right, got a winner on that. So all right, now we should just be able to push this back. This one I didn't disconnect the wiring, so we're just going to push it right back into place, make sure it's lined up, because I'm sure this is not going to be easy to get back out if it doesn't line back up. And that's pretty much it. Give it a little push. Everything looks good on that side, so we'll switch back around the other side, and we will put in the new non-broken vent. All right, so coming back to this side over here, I have make sure we grab the vent that is not broken. We can then rehook this wiring harnesses back up. A little tricky because its wires aren't very long, but nothing really too sophisticated. All right, so again, we're just going to make sure that we kind of get everything lined up before we push on it real hard. And there you go. Now I got a working vent and much better shape. And it looks like actually the guy didn't send me this little piece right here, so I will have to figure out how to take this little handle part off, because otherwise you actually can't move the vents from side to side. So I'll get that figured out. But all in all, scratch gone, new vent in place, and we are successful.